You would already know about Periyar Tiger Reserve. It's one of the best managed protected areas of our country, and when I talk about it, you would immediately imagine yourself on the beautiful Periyar Lake, boating through it, witnessing wildlife at the lake's edge, and you would think that's the best way to go about experiencing Periyar. Let me bust a myth for you. It's not the best way to experience Periyar. The actual best way of doing it is by trekking through the Tiger Reserve. And Periyar Tiger Reserve actually has two beautiful trails for you to experience. And these are long trails, 14, 15, 16-kilometer trails where you're walking the entire day through the grasslands, the forests, on the lake's edge, and you are seeing the wildlife, the bird life, all of it from such close quarters. There's no other way you get so close to a forest other than trekking through it, and that's the best way to experience Periyar Tiger Reserve. Even people visiting Periyar, they did not know that they could experience Periyar in this way, and that's the reason why the forest department invited our Indiahikes trekking club to come and document the treks for them. And they went to great lengths to actually open up these trails for us, give us their best guides, and actually going ourselves and seeing the treks for ourselves, experiencing it ourselves. We have put down a detailed documentation on our website for you, where you'll find everything that you need to know to plan the trek. Where do you get your permits from? Where do you start the trek? What does the trek offer? What's the length of the trek? What would you expect to spend on it? All of that in one place for you to go and experience Periyar Tiger Reserve like the way we did. And that's what I'll be talking in my video today. I hope you make best use of this video and the documentation and experience Periyar Tiger Reserve the way it was meant to be. So there are actually two treks that you can do inside Periyar Tiger Reserve. The first one, the Thondiar Forest Trek. The second one, the Brandypara Border Ridge Hike. So now that I'm talking about two treks inside a Tiger Reserve, you might be thinking that, okay, two are similar trails and you could just experience one of them. Let me tell you, that's not the case. These are two different worlds on their own. The Thondiar Forest Trek, about a 14-kilometer round trip. It's a day trek, and it takes you through the beautiful forests of Periyar Tiger Reserve. It's out and out a forest trek. You're trekking through the huge, humongous forests of jamun trees, sandalwood trees, blooming Indian corals, and then you are walking on the grasslands, the lakes. You're witnessing herds of elephants and gaur, and you're just walking past all of them. And then the bird life. In one day, we recorded more than 82 species, including rarities like the Malabar trogon, even great hornbills. Out and out a forest experience of what makes Periyar Tiger Reserve one of the best managed forests of our country. That's the Thondiar Forest Trail for you. On the other hand, the Brandypara Border Ridge Walk, it's a different world. It again starts through forests and grasslands, but the highlight of it comes through a summit climb, where you actually climb out of all of this forest onto a top. It's called the Chellamotta Hill, and from top of the hill you see a long ridge snaking below you. That ridge is actually the boundary of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. You're walking on it for hours, climbing out of it, getting back to trek start point, a day hike again, almost 16 kilometers through the forest of Periyar Tiger Reserve. That's the Brandypara Border Ridge Hike. So I know the first question that you might be having in your mind is that how do I go on these treks? How do I apply for permits? Where do I make the payments and all of that? So let me tell you that it has been really made very simple by the Periyar Tiger Reserve forest officials, because they have a fully online system. You can just go to the Periyar Tiger Reserve website. You'll find a list of all the programs that they run. You choose whether you want to go for the Thondiar or Brandypara, and you can just click book tickets. That will open up the window showing the available dates. You choose your slot that you want to go for. Let me give you a heads up. There are just 6 trekkers in a day on these trails, so it's secluded and there's no chance of a crowd, but that also makes it in very high demand. So ensure that the slot you are choosing, there are availability, and you just make your payment. The permits cost around rupees 2,000 per person, which includes your breakfast, lunch, your guides, and all the necessary support. All of that is managed very well by the forest department, and you can just book your tickets online and go to the trek. Now that you have booked your permits, I know you'll be wondering, how do I reach the trek starting point itself? Given that these are both day treks, they start and end at the same point, and the best news for you is that where these treks start are very prominent landmarks in the Kumily town. So your Thondiar Forest Trail starts from Bamboo Groves, which is actually a forest department accommodation. It's kind of a resort, and you'll meet your guide right at the gate of Bamboo Groves, and that is from where you start your treks. And on the other hand, the Brandypara trek, it starts from the Thekkady forest checkpost, which is also one of the most prominent centers of the town. So once you have landed at the Kumily or Thekkady bus stand, you can tell anyone to guide you to these places, and they'll tell you where to go. So the question now boils down to how do you reach Thekkady or Kumily. So Thekkady and Kumily are not really two different places. It's the same town on the right on the Tamil Nadu Kerala border. The Tamil Nadu side of it is called Thekkady. The Kerala side of it is called Kumily. So you can just take a bus that goes to either Thekkady or Kumily, and there are buses all the time. Like from Bangalore, you'll find so many overnight buses. You get onto the bus around 7 or 8 p.m. and by 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. in the morning, you'll be there at the Kumily bus stop. If you are planning to travel by train, you can just take a train to Kottayam, which is the closest railway station. From there are again local buses plying every hour to Kumily. If you are taking a flight, Madurai is the stop for you. You can fly to Madurai, and from Madurai again there are numerous buses, just a 4 or 5 hour journey to Kumily. Once at the Kumily bus stop, there are numerous autos lined up to take you to different parts of the city. You can tell them you want to go to Bamboo Groves or to the Thekkady Forest checkpost. They would know perfectly well where to drop you, and that's where your trek starts. Coming to the costing and how much you can expect to spend on this trek, I'll break it down based on how much you will expect to spend on travel, how much on the treks, and your stay and food and all of that. Right? To start with it, I'm assuming that you are taking a bus from any of the southern Indian cities to Thekkady. So that sleeper bus would cost you anywhere between 800 to 1500 rupees depending on the season and the kind of comfort you are choosing for. So taking both sides, it would be a 3000 rupees for your travel. The trek permit itself costs 2000 rupees, which includes your guides, which includes the breakfast and your lunch and all the other snacks along the way that you would need for trekking. So that would be another 2000 rupees as your trek fee. And then if you are exiting the same day, that's all that you spend. On the other hand, if you want to stay back another day and do the next trek, then you would spend around 1500 to 2000 rupees on one night of stay and food, depending on the level of comfort and the kind of food you are going for. So to cut it all down, if you are doing just one trek and coming back, you would spend around 3000 on travel, 2000 on permits. That's around 5000 rupees. On the other hand, if you are staying back for the next trek, then it's 1500 for your stay and another 2000 for your permits, which comes to something around 8000 to 8500 rupees. So depending on whether you are going for one trek or you are doing both the treks back to back, you can spend anywhere between 5 to 9000 rupees for your trek inside Periyar Tiger Reserve. Now your logistics are sorted. You know there are 2 treks, you know how to book permits, you know how much you'll spend, but let me tell you a bit of a reality check of what to expect on these trails. So both of these trails are long, day-long hikes. So these are not short trails which you end very quickly. So you start your trek around 8 a.m. and you are back to the starting point only by 4 or 5 p.m. So you are walking the entire day through the forest. It's beautiful. These are the Thondiar Forest Trail is around 14.5 kilometers. On the other hand, the Brandypara Border Ridge Hike is around 16 kilometers. And these are long treks, but let me tell you, these are not hard on your legs. If you are comfortable walking long hours, there's no reason why you cannot handle these treks. The Thondiar Forest Trail, I would tell it's a more of a forest hike. You are walking long distances. Very early into the trek, you climb onto a hilltop, which is the Edugumara top. And once you are there, there's no more climbs that you do. In fact, the trickiest part of the trek, I would tell, is the steep descent from Edugumara, where you descend from the hills into a stream bed. That descent, because it's through dense forest and there is leaf litter, there are chances of slips and falls. There's the only small section that's tricky. Once you are on the lake bed, you are just walking on flat land. If you can handle walking for long hours, there's no reason why the Thondiar Forest Trail will pose any challenge for you. On the other hand, the Brandypara Border Ridge Hike, this actually has quite a good amount of climb, because as you can understand, you are actually climbing onto a ridge. So you start through the forest to actually descend to the Pappanoda stream, and once the Pappanoda stream ends, you actually climb steeply to the top of Chellamotte. So this part is a steep and strenuous climb, about a 500-600 meter section, but you are climbing continuously, first through the forests and then through the open canopies. So there's sun, there is heat, and you're climbing, so that can get a little bit of that can get challenging if you have not experienced this before in other Western Ghats treks. But the good news is that if you are struggling or if you are late, there's another way where you can actually bypass this climb to Chellamotte, where you just go along the base of the hill and connect to the ridge directly. Your guides might take a call depending on how you are doing. But then that said, that's the only bit of stretch which will challenge you on the Brandypara hike, that is getting onto the ridge. Once on the ridge, it's again a snaking walk all along the ridge. It's gentle downs, gentle ups, beautiful, the two states on your two sides, and then descend into the forest, walk back. Long walk, no hard sections other than this one climb. So for both of these treks, my verdict is that even though these are long, these are not really hard on your legs. There are short climbs that pack a little bit of challenge, but that's about it. Only thing I would request is that you carry ample amount of water with you. You have the fruits and the snacks that the forest department give you, because you'll need to stay hydrated. You'll need to eat well to be able to sustain your energy throughout the day and experience all the things that is there on offer. So the heat and the sun, you're walking on meadows for a long time. Those are the things I would request you to take care of. Terrain wise, it's nothing unmanageable. It's absolutely out there for you to go and experience. Now we have covered most of the things you would need to know to go do these treks on your own. You know the treks, you know how to do your permits, how to reach the base, how much you would spend, and the difficulty levels as well. But let me tell you that why you must do these treks is because these are very rare experiences in our country, where you see our wildlife and the beautiful forests so up close. Like, can you imagine just walking an entire day through this very protected area with so much wildlife, and you would see the signs all around you, the birds chirping around you, and rare birds like you would see the Wayanad laughing thrush, or you would hear the Malabar whistling thrush, you would see the trogons, you would see the hornbills, and on lucky days you would see huge herds of elephants just walking on the meadows, and you are walking through them. There are tiger pug marks, there are claw marks on the trees, and you are just walking the entire day. There will be the guides with you who will bring the forest alive with the roots, with the fruits, with the various wild vegetables that are all growing there, and they'll tell you beautiful stories of the Mangala Devi temple and how a tiger cub was reared inside the temple, and all of that would connect you to the landscape in ways that are unthinkable otherwise. People go to Periyar, they would do the boat safari, and they would come back. They would never see this side of Periyar that exists and is out there for you to experience. Even when we were talking to the forest officer, it's the same thing that he was telling me, that people come to Periyar, they will do a lot of things, but they miss out on the best thing that we have here, and that is our two trails inside Brandypara and Thondiar. So if you are planning to visit Periyar Tiger Reserve, don't miss out on these treks. To ensure that you have a great experience in doing them, we have gone to great lengths to document it in every detail possible. You'll find everything you want to know about the trek, how the trek looks like, when to do the trek, what are the best time to do it, how to reach, even offline GPX files. I know there will be guides with you, but we still have put out the offline files for you to follow and ensure that you never get lost. So everything is there for you to just go and experience this, and this is something you must not miss out on. That will be all from me today. This is Upan from Indiahikes.